Hello and welcome to Healy Fit with your instructor, Jen. For more, please subscribe, like, or select notifications. Today I have a Pilates practice for you focusing on the lower abdominals. For your practice, you can use a mat or any cushioned surface. We'll start down onto the mat, releasing all the way down to the floor, fingertips up to temples or down by your hips. Walk your heels in nice and close to you, and we'll start by peeling the back up from the floor. Navel in, drag the spine up from the mat, and then imprint bone by bone back down. Good. Press through the heels, squeeze into the glutes and hamstrings, and then slowly release back down. Navel towards spine, pulling your tummy in and back away from the waistband. Good elevation along the trunk. Head pressed back into the floor. Length into the neck. Continue to peel the spine up bone by bone all the way up and release down bone by bone all the way back. Good. Slowly lift up, squeeze, and then release all the way back down. Just a few more like that. Squeeze all the way up, drive through the heels, brace into the core, and then slowly lower your spine back down to the floor. All right, let's take one hand to knee, and then we're going to take our belly in, take the other leg up off the floor, and we're just going to extend out and in. So this hand pushing into the thigh is starting to increase your abdominal pressure. You might feel some core working. And then we're utilizing our lower abdominals, pulling our navel back towards our spine to keep the low back pulled down towards the mat. You can also bring your hand beside your temple. For the next 4, we're going to extend out, lifting the head up from the mat if that feels okay for you. You could also have your hand beneath your head to cradle your head and take some of that neck pressure off. Awesome. Let's switch sides. Hand to thigh, fingertips to temple. You can bring your head back down to the floor, or if you like that extra intensity, you can bring your head up at any time. Extending the leg out. Now you want to think of a leg stretch. So really push those toes to the other side of the room and then bring it in, kind of to the same line as the leg that you're pressing against. Head up for the next 4, chin lifted from chest, eye gaze up towards the sky or down kind of over the top of the nose towards the belly, reminding you to keep your abdominals engaged, pulled back and down. Now let's press both hands into thighs. One at a time. Extend arm and leg. Good. So getting a little bit more extension from fingertips to toes. Here your head could be up or down. Up is going to give you just a tiny bit more intensity, but if it is bothersome for your neck, by all means bring your head back down to the floor. When your hand is pressed against your thigh, I want you to really push your leg against your hand and then push your hand against your leg just to get that little edge of intensity. Awesome. Let's bring both hands behind the head and go into that single leg extension. Good. So same move as before. Our first move kind of reminding us to keep that tension in. Legs all the way up to the sky. Let's go with a straight leg stretch all the way down and up. Good. So still keeping those abs in. Tummy tucked towards the spine. Legs long from toes all the way to hips. Good. So just like as I was saying, with the hands pressed against the thighs, we're still feeling that pressure, that same pressure into the abs. Good. Length all the way out to the toes. Almost there. Good. After this last one, let's go ahead, fold the knees back in, bring the feet back down to the floor. Fingertips towards your heels. We're going to take one foot up on top of the knee, other foot pressed into the mat. And we're going to do our hip bridge one-sided. So again, you're going to peel the back up from the mat, squeeze into the glutes, really lift up, pull the tummy in towards the spine, and then release back down bone by bone. Good, so here we're pushing strongly into one side. Other side is just there, kind of along for the ride. Good, light pause at the top so we get that muscular tension into the backside, into your hamstrings, into your glutes, shoulders down, length into the neck, head pressed lightly into the floor. Awesome. After this one, leave those hips down onto the ground, hands behind the head. We're going to lift the elbows in towards the knees and lift the knees towards the elbows, foot all the way back down to the floor. Exhale, lift up, little crunch. Inhale, release back down. Good. Continue to crunch, 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 crunch. Rib cage towards hips, and then release back down to the floor. Exhale as you rise. Inhale as you release. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, come all the way back down. Good. Really peel a little bit of those hips up from the floor. And now we're going to take one arm out, opposite elbow to that bent knee, that bent top leg. Keep your tummy tucked in. Twist. Exhale as you do. Inhale as you come back down. Now, every time you need to, remind yourself to pull the tummy in, belly button towards spine, and keep the low back pressed towards the mat. Try to lift both shoulders as you come up for the next few. Go ahead, see if you can increase your intensity, a little bit more flexion along the outer edge into the obliques. Exhale, rise. Inhale, release. Go ahead, both hands back down towards heels. Unlace the leg and switch sides. Go ahead, so into that figure four on this side, peeling the hips up from the floor, bone by bone, and then releasing back down, bone by bone. Good, keeping the abs engaged as we lift, chin up from chest, head pressed lightly into the floor beneath your head. Kind of really drive through that bottom foot, squeeze into the back of the thigh. And then slowly bring yourself back down to the mat. Next one, hands behind the head. Let's start with that crunch, bringing the knees in and lifting the upper body towards the lower body. Good, so really want you to focus on that lower half. Try to lift the hips up from the floor, threading a little bit more of the hips towards the ribs. Each time you lift that bottom foot up from the floor. Awesome job. Keep going. Keep length into the neck. Keep strength into the core. Flex up and release down. Let's go into those twists. One hand out, elbow to opposite knee, trying to bring both shoulders up from the floor so we get the most abdominal tension into the obliques and central abdominals, our rectus and transverse abdominis. Good. Now, if you can, try to bring that elbow all the way up to touch the knee. Or you can follow along with me, just bring it up as high as feels right for you. Awesome. Both arms out, both feet tucked in. Let's lift them both up from the floor, tucking the knees in for a little pelvic rocking up and down. So again, I want you to really focus on those lower abdominals, pulling them in, maybe fingertips kind of below the belly button, right on top of the hip bones as you rock the hips up. Exhale, pull in. Inhale, release back down. Awesome. Let's bring those legs all the way up towards the sky. And then we're going to lift them kind of over the head. Go ahead, pushing upwards a little bit more towards the ceiling. Go ahead, a little controlled candlestick. Just peeling your lower back up from the floor, maybe trying to lift a little bit higher with each rep that you do. Good. Now, if it's okay for you, you can bring it back a little bit further and then slowly imprint the spine back down. So into your rollover, bringing the feet up, 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 up. Now, you are welcome to stay with the other option, that controlled candlestick, if that feels better for your back, for your spine. This is more of an intermediate to advanced move. And I'm going with less range of motion. So those of you who have more range of motion, by all means, you are welcome to go in that direction. And with less range of motion, of course, you can go into that controlled candlestick and just bring it towards the forehead instead of up and back behind you. God, always listening to your body. Now, speaking of listening to your body, next one, we're going to try to hold those hips up as high as we can. Place the hands to the low back. If this is not within your realm, then what you're going to do is bring your back all the way to the floor. And we're still going to follow in the same thing. So one leg out, one leg in. One leg out, one leg in. Go ahead, extend, 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 and then fold back in. Extend, and then fold. Good. Tummy tucked in. We've got strength into the core, length into the neck, kind of looking upwards towards those toes. We're just trying to get as much length into those legs as we can. Anytime you need to, you readjust those hands on your back. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Extend, 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 toe to toe, and then fold back in, toe to toe, and then fold back in. Our next move, a little bicycle wheel, just kind of pedaling through the air above you, or again with your back on the ground, just kind of pedaling through the legs. Go ahead, pushing straight leg back, bending the knee back in. Awesome. Slowly, we are going to release the hands back down to the floor. Bring the back all the way down, heels to the mat. Let's start with some seated poses. Arms up to the sky, feel that stretch. Exhale, fold, reaching towards the toes. Sweep the arms up and around, reach up to the sky, extend. And then exhale, fold into your spinal stretch. Good. Sweep the arms up and around, reach to the sky. Exhale and fold. Inhale, extend, reach, reach, reach. Exhale and fold. God, should feel great along those hamstrings, glutes, into the low back as well, after all that hard work we did from the floor. This is also a great workout for the shoulders, working into our mobility. Hold it here, and let's reach all the way out to the toes, and then pull the elbows in and back, lift the chest, looking up towards the sky. Exhale, spine stretch, going a little bit further this time. Inhale, chest opener. Exhale, spine stretch. Inhale, extend into that spine opener. Good. Exhale, reach. Inhale, lift and expand. Exhale, reach. Bring it up, bring it up, bring it up. Hold. Bring your fingertips to your temples and let's twist. Exhale, turn. Inhale, center. Exhale, turn. Now, every time you turn, I want you to imagine you are wringing out a towel. Pull your belly button in. Bring it back through center. Good. Try to cement the legs down towards the floor. Heels pressed into the mat. Length along the backs of the knees. Exhale, twist. Inhale through center. Awesome. This is our home stretch, y'all. So if you're wondering just how much is left, you are almost there. Just a few more exercises to continue on our way, and then stretches. All right. So let's bring it all the way back into the center. We're going to reach our elbows down towards the mat. Hold it here, and we're going to extend one leg up to the sky. Toes pointed, lift up. Toes flexed, pull down to the mat. Good. Stay that same side. Toes up to the sky. Heel press to the floor. Good. Lift, 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 lift. And then pull right back down to the mat. Good. Now really get that length and extension into the leg from hips to toes. Unfolding the back of the knee as best you can so you feel a little bit of stretch into the glutes and hips. Awesome. Continue on this same side. Let's go for one more. Up, 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 up. Pull down to the floor. And now we're going to open the leg out to the side and then sweep back towards center. So using the abductor and adductor as you lengthen the leg all the way out. This is great for hip mobility. So just go as far as feels right for you, extending all the way out and then pulling that leg all the way back in towards your center line. A few more of these. And then we'll switch sides. Good. As you bring both heels down to the floor, let's work into the triceps. Giving the legs a bit of a break, slowly release back down to the floor. Good. Peel your elbows up from the mat, push into the backs of the hands, and then slowly release back down to the floor. So this is kind of a sneaky ab exercise. I bet at this point you're thinking, I thought she said triceps, I'm feeling this abs. A little bit of both, y'all. A little bit of both. I like to bring the arms into the mix, but also keep the work into the core. So fingertips kind of right beside the hips, push into the hands, lengthen. Good. So we've got long, tall posture as we come up, and we are really pushing into the backs of the arms as we unfold the elbows. Awesome. Holding it down. Let's go into those leg lifts up and then pull the leg back down to the floor. 6 more. Lift up, squeeze. God, so as you lift, working into the top of the thigh, into the quadricep. As you lower, working into the back of the thigh, into the hamstrings. Bringing the leg all the way down. Let's open, open, open out to the side. And then squeeze back into the center. Good. Now continue to check in with your posture as you do these. Length from crown to hips. Strength into the abdominal region. Length along the collarbone. Strength along the back. Awesome. Let's bring both legs all the way down to the floor. Peel yourself up from the mat. And let's go into those stretches that I promised. Hands all the way out to the toes. Lengthen to the back. Round across your shoulders. Let your chin drop down towards your chest. Forehead down towards thighs. Inhale, lift up. Tuck one knee in. Light twist. Look over the back shoulder. Good. Breathe. Exhale, switch sides. Pull one leg in, twist, looking over the back shoulder. So you've got that nice stretch across the obliques, a little bit into the outer thigh, and into the back, chest, and shoulder. As you untwist from this side, come into whatever seated position works best for you. Take a big inhale all the way up to the sky. Reach. Exhale, scoop the belly in as you round across the shoulders, lengthening from fingertips all the way back, and then open, open, open along the chest, and then sweep everything in because you deserve a huge hug after all that hard work. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time.